Hey everyone, happy Friday. Trade recap for today. Unfortunately, didn't have the best, or well, there were great opportunities today, but I wasn't able to really capitalize on them because I had to leave for work early. Um, so going in order of what I traded, I woke up at 5 today to hit pre-market. Let me just make sure this is all set up correctly. Okay. So MITQ was watching this pre-market. I was seeing kind of resistance forming. There was a lot of chop above 0.98. And so I was looking at that. I saw this chop here in this area. Let me pull up my pen real quick. So this chop here was of interest, I'd say, to me. So I took my short here, added into this kind of resistance level. It ended up spiking up and topping out at 1.04. And as soon as that happened, I tried to um, add again. And then on this wick, it didn't reach 1.04. So I couldn't get in for another add. That was obviously the best entry if I could have gotten there, but unfortunately didn't. But I was scaling in really slow into this one, so my normal like $1,000 position, I broke up into three, trying to get an entry with an average like at round one. So I was hoping to start the position here, add to it here, and then add to it here to get an average around here, all like same share size. Um, for my 1,000, but I couldn't get there. So I got into entries, covered into this dump, this dump. It kept getting bought up at 0.88. Momentum wasn't like flushing through that level. So I just ended up covering my position because I had to leave early. So like at around 6:45, I had to head out. Looking at this, it ended up selling off a little bit more, so definitely could have held. It had another spike later in the day, but at this point I was at work, so unfortunate. Couldn't really capitalize on that. WHLR was the best opportunity today. So pre-market we have like this kind of chop action. If I try and zoom out, maybe I'll put on the 5 minutes so we can see. So we had this huge leg up here, and then we had another one, and this is where I was like kind of interested in taking a short. And as we get close to that, um, so this one, if we look at when I took the entry, it was sort of near that pre-market level. So I took it, it spiked up very randomly, but not on a ton of volume. So if we see here, like this volume wasn't crazy here. So this spiked up. I took again same thing. Like I didn't go full in on my position here, but I took some of my short at around looks like 897, added to it at 885, and then covered into this dump, and then covered the rest here. Added to this short into this level because we had a spike of volume there. This was by the time there was the market had opened, and this started like kind of squeezing up. So if we see like on market open, it had this kind of harsh uptrend, and I was getting a little bit nervous at this halt up here, but it ended up working out fine. And I try to add. I was careful with this because of the price action, so I was very conservative on my sizing. Um, so try to add in more here to kind of have an average around this point, but I didn't get filled, unfortunately. Basically, it halted up. The level one was showing it at like 1040, and then it came back down during the halt to like 1005, which is typically a sign of it topping out. Like if it squeezes higher and holds higher, it'll keep squeezing higher. But in this instance, it like went under where it was at the point of the halt. So very bearish sign and sign of reversal. We almost halted down here, but we didn't. So then when we came back up and was holding above VWAP, I got out the rest of my position. Definitely could have held, but same thing. I had to go at this point and couldn't wait it out. But my average cost was, I think, around 9. If this came back up, I definitely would have been interested in shorting again because of how volume topped out here. Um, that was WHLR. Moving on, we had SRM. So SRM, I took a quick trade because this was showing super bullish price action. So we see this, right? This kind of uptrend here. Very, very dangerous to be shorting these. So I really wanted to show true overextension before getting in. As we came up above uh, this previous resistance and volume wasn't exceeding, I took a short and then I added above VWAP. It chopped a little bit, came up a little bit. Also, speaking of this one did have overhead resistance at 10.7. So this level here from this candle. So this is why I was interested in shorting this, is there was so much volume here. So I didn't think that we would close super high, especially with how little volume we had here. So was definitely interested in shorting this. Took the short, but then got out here for the same reason. I had to leave. Given this price action, I probably would have sold for this breakout here. Um, Maybe added and then covered here, maybe. But honestly, I don't know. If we look at later, it looks like it came down to 10, so it would have worked out if I added into this up um, trend. But we keep sort of chopping. It looks like around VWAP, and I think this closed at 11.7. So yeah, not one that was like a fader. Surprisingly, obviously it was breaking out. So like we had, you know, it did break out, but I will say like the volume wasn't overwhelming. So I'm surprised this ended up finishing its move at the end of the day at 11.7. Then we had Lucy, which was also another great opportunity. I wish I was able to hold this one, but again, I had to leave, and I would have loved to hold this. Like it was a great, great setup. The yearly chart is looking bearish, right? Spikes getting shorted. And then if we look at our entry here, so this was, coming above VWAP into this 4.3. Pre-market, it was showing chop around like 3.7 and 3.4. So as this was breaking out, I was basically waiting for slowed momentum. And honestly, like a lot of the time, what I'm seeing, and obviously when this doesn't work out, it's pretty bad. But when we have sharp uptrends and then a pullback and then another sharp up and then a pullback, after the third one, I've noticed a lot of the time at this point it fails. There is definitely situations where it doesn't fail, but I would say the grind up is a lot slower. When we have harsh, big candles of volume, there's typically a pullback because volume peaks out typically at this point. And then if you look at here, right, this becomes a great short entry because we don't exceed the volume here. So this isn't a true breakout. Um, so that's what validates breakouts is increasing volume, which will occur. But when it's decreasing and slow grinding up, it's a bigger sign of manipulation versus normal price action. So after this leg up, I took my starter position because I thought this would keep going. And look at how overextended this is, right? We have a harsh uptrend in VWAP, and I'm shorting above VWAP. So it only climbed up like a couple of cents, wasn't in any kind of drawdown here. And then I covered quick. I had to go, unfortunately, but ideally, my profit target is here. Um, so yeah, a lot of trades that ended early because I had to go was up $238.99, which I'm very happy about. Considering I couldn't hold on to a lot of my trades. SRM was my smallest win with $8. I had to get out of this. Price action wasn't looking too good. Like we were showing support at 11. It was struggling to get below 10.9, which was my average cost. So this one definitely probably could have stopped out, or I would have liked to add here, and then cover in the 11s or underneath 11. But the other ones like were great opportunities, great trades. I just couldn't really hold on to them, which kind of sucked. So yeah, thanks for watching this trade recap, and peace.